Welcome to the Smoke Room, the podcast about everything and anything. I'm your host, Akweke, and with me today are two very special guests, and we're going to be discussing about the country lately. Hi,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm Neche, a law student of University of Nigeria and a huge lover of P2B and supporter of P2B, all things P2B.
My name is Chinedu Azubueni. Um, I'm a seller by profession, but mostly I'm a freelancer. I'm into business,
Okay,
and I'm not political though, but I love P2B.
okay, I like that. You're
Yeah,
not political, but you
yeah,
love P2B.
yeah.
So, I don't want us to start with P2B and the presidential election yet. I want
Okay.
us to discuss about what it means living in Nigeria right now. Like, how do you feel being a citizen of Nigeria? Because right now, for me, I don't know about you, but for me, it's hell.
um. Well, for someone like me, I've lived abroad, and coming back home, it's annoying. It's very, very annoying. Why I say it's annoying is because the basic amenities that we majority of Nigerians, the problem, the why they go to church is because they want God to solve their problem. But I found out that if government can even provide like 40% of what people go to church, to
To
pray
pray
to God
about.
for. People won't be going to church. Like me, I don't go to church because I understood this matrix, the matrix world, so I have to like exclude myself from it. So it's hell though. It's hell. To me, I'll still refer back to Fela that said is we are suffering and smiling. Nobody wants to do anything.
We're
Even when you
suffering
try as
ourselves,
much as
smiling.
possible to make a difference, as if you're not even doing anything. So it's a problem. I don't most times I don't actually blame the government. I blame us that are Nigerians because we also are part of the problem. Because these days it's hard to find someone who you can trust and do business with without the person thinking otherwise. It starts from there. It starts from there. Even extending to families, and you can't even trust them enough to, even if when you want to do something for someone, you find out that they want to take advantage of you at any point in time. So
I'd like to hear from
I
you how you
believe
feel.
living as a Nigerian now is a chore. From the perspective of a student, coming to this place today was even a task. You don't have cash. I remember it's I at times I like to live in a bubble because it helps me it helps me think or cope with living in Nigeria. It helps me. I don't know if anybody should live in Nigeria right now without more or less finding a way to cope. You would be you would run mad.
It would break down.
You break down. Coming here today was difficult because anybody you're finding or talking to, cash is difficult to get. And the people we are suffering with, that's POS people and all of that, 300 naira for 1,000 naira. So what if it's 1,000 naira I actually want? You give me 700. Do you understand? I don't understand what is happening in Nigeria. I keep telling people that the problem we have in Nigeria, it's even far beyond politics.
yeah,
It's
We are our
everybody.
own
yeah,
issue.
It's
we are our own
everybody.
problem.
And the reason it's so bad is because I told people, to be very honest, in my opinion, the only thing that makes Jackba look enticing is
Enticing.
the fact that people have a better life. It's just another country.
Yeah,
For
that's
being
true. But
very
you're a
It's
second
honest.
just
class.
another
That's
You're
the
always
country.
thing.
a second class citizen.
Exactly. I love Nigeria. I actually don't live any other place. I actually really love Nigeria. We are one of the funniest people I've ever met.
Yeah,
We are strong people.
of
We are
course.
resilient. We love to survive. Even in the worst ways, something horrible could happen right now and we would laugh. We have a very low suicidal rate compared to other countries. But then,
Yeah,
do you know the things we suffer in this country? To think that we're surviving, if it was outside the country, trust me by now, this will be
A
total
lot of
chaos.
youths would have,
Total
Nobody wants
chaos.
to.
Total chaos. But look at us surviving. And it makes me love Nigeria, even our
But
food.
I think that is the problem. We have our parents and our parents' parents. Everybody have gotten used to the problem, the struggling, that we've normalized it.
It's mental
Now,
slavery. It's that mental slavery. You know,
it's the resilience. We are resilient, yeah, yes, but at
I
what
think it's because
cost?
we've channeled it to the wrong place or whatever. Because it's good to be resilient, but in doing that, it doesn't mean you should stay and suffer. Because I'm of the opinion that fight for your life, find a way to survive. Doesn't mean you should remain in penury, remain in suffering. That is why during enters, I was really proud of Nigerians. But the thing is that we forget a lot as a people. We have selective amnesia in Nigeria.
So let's talk about the fuel scarcity in the country. Well, no day.
there's no fuel now. It dey affect everybody. There's no fuel. It dey affect me.
Does it really make sense that a country that produces oil does not have fuel? What are we doing?
To think that as far back as, I don't know the exact year, Dubai came to Nigeria seeking for funds, loan.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, from Obasanjo during his tenure.
No, was it Obasanjo?
Yeah, it was Obasanjo, and he said that there's nothing to write home about a place that has water, because they're surrounded with water now. So he was trying to say that he's not going to invest
invest in-
and help. Look at Dubai.
Almighty Dubai.
I kid you not. They
Coming
came to
Nigeria to
Obasanjo
bow.
He'll be
to ask
regretting
for
it.
funds. He's not going to regret because he
He's
has
no longer
he has
in power.
stuff in Dubai. This is a very smart. In as much as that was a mistake then, because he couldn't see far, but
That's why he was old then.
regardless, he made some smart choices. But I'm just saying that look at Dubai now and look at Nigeria, and it tells you a lot about governance. If the right people are in power, they make the right decisions, and the people feel it. You cannot pretend to feel good if you're not feeling good. The country is bad.
The country.
Fuel, there's no fuel in a country like Nigeria and other countries. When they have fuel scarcity, people that don't produce oil, it's almost like, what the hell is happening? They're like, it's not meant to happen. But Nigeria,
you know why it's worse here, because we basically use fuel to do everything.
but I think that I get all of this, but even if we're using a lot of things that we need fuel for, it doesn't change the fact that we shouldn't be lacking fuel.
We shouldn't be lacking, but see,
Do you get?
if there's enough energy, the consumption of fuel.
Yes, but there'll still be fuel scarcity in Nigeria now, even if there are other things,
Even if
because it
there's
still
fuel
gets back
scarcity,
to.
it won't be the way it is now.
But the reason things are bad now is still the bad governance, because the reason why people have to use all of this is because there's no light,
Now,
there's no
imagine
this.
We are experiencing all these things before election.
I think it's strategic, in my opinion, to rile up people's emotions.
But if you're rallying up people's emotion, in whose favor?
Of course, in their own favor, because you
Who
can
is them?
easily
The
the
cabals now.
cabals. You can easily. I mean, recently there was.
Do you want to hear it from me? Everybody knows it. No,
But it's the truth. We know them.
We know their.
We know
have
them.
cabal,
We know
but-
them.
But there's nothing we can do. Those people are, the best way, things are going to change here is if we get it right in this election. I'm just sorry that I don't have my PVC.
That apology was needed.
I'm sorry I don't have
We
my
accept
PVC.
your apology. Next
But at
time,
the end
do
of the day,
better.
we need to get it right this election. If we don't, everybody just need to keep calm. Everybody should just how am I going to put it? We should keep suffering and smiling till the day of the election. Nobody should.
This thing he said is actually very true.
Nobody
Everybody
should
keep
even
calm.
try and.
This is why I said it's strategy, because this
Nobody
fuel
should-
stuff, all these things, is to rile up
nobody
people's
should-
emotions.
Just rile up the other day now.
They beat up
Yeah.
a fuel
That was
attendant
rioting.
But
with
people
Koboko.
are frustrated.
I
Hey,
mean,
Do you
he's
know
just doing
most
his job.
people?
Oh. He was just doing his job.
Most
Wike said it the best way. He said that this thing is strategic,
that
and
everybody should keep
So that
quiet.
people
exactly.
will have reason to agitate and then
Yeah,
more
people
riots.
should
The
keep.
country
And then the
goes
next
up
thing
into
they
To
now
me,
election
exactly.
to
council.
me, I'm an Igbo man, but to me, I feel they shouldn't release. Although he deserves to be released, Nnamdi Kanu, but I feel they should keep it after the election, so that if that man
Because
should
you know
come
we
and
have fanatics in
yeah,
our midst
there are people that
that
might
take
take
it too
advantage
far.
of if he's
True.
being released, but I don't know.
But,
To me, I'm not in a
but
place to
presently,
say something like that because
You
but
it's
see,
presently he's not our problem. I believe
he is not.
presently the problem is this man called Simon Ekpa.
it's
Who?
someone.
Simon Ekpa is the person that is more or less now like the person leading IPOB, but they are now dissociating themselves from him. You cannot fix. I believe he's a stooge for APC. He's in support of
Tinubu.
Tinubu. You
How
can,
sure are you?
with all the things he has been doing, and I believe the plan is to
Destabilize the election.
destabilize the election in the east. We cannot, as a people, say we want better and we don't want to help ourselves. You cannot say people should stay at home, don't do this, don't do that, and you want them to move. It's not magic.
I
Do you
mean,
get?
we've been dealing with sit-at-homes for how many years?
This is since
You know, a
2022.
lot of people lose
Has it
money.
been up to 2 years?
It's actually
Every
since
Monday.
2021.
It's
It's actually since
Monday is
2021 because
sit-at-home.
2022 people thought it was going to
it was
end.
after the
Yes,
pandemic.
it started in
After the
2021
pandemic.
because in 2022 people thought it was going to end. Then people came out January 1st and there was a
That's
massacre.
Do you know?
There was a
what
massacre
do you know-
January 2022. 1st of January, people were, even the first Monday in January rather, people were killed because they came out hoping that
sit-down.
it's not going
Imagine
to
all the
happen.
economic disadvantage that we are in because the East does not function on a Monday.
Onitsha and Nnewi, they lose billions every Monday.
Main
It's
market
expected.
now is like the
It's
biggest
expected.
in West Africa, the second biggest market in West Africa.
It's
And you're telling
expected.
me that it's not open on a Monday. The whole world is open on a Monday. Everybody dreads Monday because on Monday you get up and you go to work.
And you
The
forget
whole
that
East-
you at some point people get used to it and think that okay, it's happening everywhere until
Yeah,
you
in
travel.
Enugu, people like it.
Until you travel. When the last time I traveled to Abuja and I was about to go out on a Monday, I realized that
Oh, sit
the world is
down.
moving without us.
Yes.
And somebody wants to do this during the election because there was a rumor that they are going to implement a 7-day sit at home during the election.
Is
And
it before or after the
during
election?
the election, the week of the
So
election.
we don't
So how
go
are we
and
going to
vote
vote?
if
You
there's
want
sit
to
at
bring in
home.
exactly. You're telling us we are not going to be able to vote. How are we now going to make this right
Please,
during this
can I
election?
ask, what are the people in authorities doing about this?
Yeah,
They are barricading the way and telling us Enugu is in the hands of the Lord. I'm a Christian. No, I'm a Christian, and there's something I love about my Christianity. It's a
Sorry.
practical one. God uses men to work. He doesn't
himself.
calm down himself. That is my own belief. So many times in the Bible, oh, you're meant to do this, oh, you do this. Moses shared the Red Sea, all of that. Do you get? So you cannot be put in power. And you're telling me Enugu is in the hands of the Lord. When Sullivan was the governor in Enugu, I know what was happening. Enugu was very safe. Enugu was, let's start with neatness. Enugu was neat. Sweet state. Enugu was neat. Then my dad, bless his memory, he could travel at any time of the day, come back. Nobody is scared. The only fear is he's late now, just for the mere fact he's late. But you know this person is safe. I'm not a political person because I noticed that even from school politics that people's minds are rotten. I used to be political in my first year, but after that, I see that this can be very dirty. It's not just about the people in the high authority. We're just seeing these people because we are able to see them. But people on the grassroots level, if you actually check,
Do you know why? Do you know why?
the rot actually eats deep.
Do you know why
Yes.
it's not actually affecting a typical Igbo man? Because a typical Igbo man, no matter if they like, let them sit at home two times, 2 days in a week. he will use the remaining days to do his hustle and make his money the
No,
way.
but let's
But it's
not
somehow
make this
affecting him.
tribalistic. Let's not
It's
make it
somehow
tribalistic.
affecting him.
It's
No, and see, and Igbo man does. You see, yeah, go to Onitsha. You are from Onitsha.
I'm from Onitsha.
So you should know what I'm talking about. There's fuel scarcity.
yes,
They have the money. They will just go and buy 50 or maybe 100 liters of fuel and go and pack, and they'll be using it until when
I agree, but that's
But it
the
doesn't change the
problem
fact that
she's-
it's difficult.
She's talking about.
Yeah,
We get
I
we are.
understand.
Statistical about.
I get
Yeah.
that. I get that it's good to survive, but let's not
They
adapt
just don't-
to bad governance. Let's
don't
not
want anything that's
adapt
gonna
to
stress them.
suffering.
Okay, what about they don't want anything that is going to stress them. What about their children? Their children's children, or are we going to keep winging it until everything is destroyed? There is nothing to repair again.
Plus, let's not forget that you still go to market, and it's this simple that will be complaining or saying that
the poor will eat the rich, and they will eat the rich soon.
soon, very soon. And
I will
I
shop you first.
but the
Are you
truth,
very rich? Oh?
my issue, see, the reason why I said that we're being lackadaisical about this is that, okay, for instance, now I was having a conversation one day and I told my friend as she got her PVC, she has not posted for once about this whole election. And I'm not saying I'm not going to force you to post, she gets, but I take this election personal because this is a fight for my life.
That's true.
I believe it's a fight for my life. The fight not just for my life, because how many people are going to leave Nigeria? Let's be honest.
Yes.
How many people are going to leave Nigeria? How many people have the means to leave Nigeria? I personally don't want. Each time I say this thing, some of my family members or my friends are like, "Why don't you want to leave?" And I'm like,
They keep
I
asking me.
actually like Nigeria.
No, I love.
Do you
Nigeria.
get? I
Why should they
love this
leave my
country.
country of
Do you get?
origin?
But then the people in it are very nonchalant with the affairs of the day.
Nigeria.
Do you get? I was having this conversation with the girl and I was like, "Have you got your PVC?" Eche, it's stressing me. I was
No,
actually,
you don't have to.
and it's not one person. No, I've heard it from. Do you know that's the? You see this thing he said now.
You don't
That's
have
the
to-
point. I would take it personal
You don't have to
because
take
it's
it
a personal issue. If I could go out and
It's a
someone can
personal
rob me in
issue.
broad daylight, it's as personal as it gets.
It's
It's about
personal.
my life. I'm fighting for my
personal.
life and you're telling me it's not personal. That's as personal as it gets. Do you
It's
get? It's the
personal.
fact that we are disputing the fact that this is personal, that we're still in this problem. The moment we realize that it's a personal, it's very, very personal, things will start changing. Because the reason why people are reacting now is because it's touching deeper than it usually does. That's why there's a revolution now. There's some sort of revolution. Because people are seeing
are
that
talking
this
about
is becoming
angry.
very personal.
Some people-
And the only time you get angry is if you understand that it is personal. I'm from a family where my needs are taken care of.
Yeah.
I don't complain. I'm the last of 6 kids.
So you
Life is
have
actually very good
elder-
for me.
yes.
My people have plans for me to leave. That's why I said I love Nigeria. That's why I said my friends tell me, why do you want to stay in Nigeria? It's not just about privilege. People that are willing to make life easy for you. But that's the thing. I believe in let's not burden certain people, because why is it a problem to live a good life in Nigeria? In as much as things may be going well for me, it doesn't dispute the fact that somebody else next to me is having it difficult. There was a day I needed help, and it was easy for me to get the help because I knew people that would help me.
Yeah, that's true.
But then I saw other people not getting that help, and it pissed me off. I don't necessarily need to be in. That's even
that's
another
life.
issue in Nigeria.
That's life.
I don't need to. We need to be
That is
empathetic.
affect some.
Exactly,
But that
because
is
we're not
life.
empathetic people. I don't need to be in. I don't need to directly feel the pain to feel.
So, what are your expectations for the election?
I'm expecting all things P2B.
All things P2B. Can we discuss a little bit about the candidates? Like, let's gossip a bit.
I heard there are so many candidates, but I'm aware of one. Anyways,
We
don't
have,
know, but like-
we have Sowore, Tinubu, Atiku, Kwankwaso, and
Is one person on the line?
yeah,
yes.
he's still
I wasn't even aware.
But Obi, for me, Obi is the best candidate so far because
Go and verify.
the credibility. There's not even one single dent. When they try to, look for one thing they will use in blackmailing or maybe all this political.
He keeps saying, go and verify.
Yeah, go and verify.
And I'm telling you, if there was any skeletons in his cupboard,
That would have brought
the
it out.
opposition would have brought it
Somebody
out by
said
now.
something I
There's
saw.
literally nothing.
Somebody said something I saw, a post. The person was like that. At a time like this in Nigeria, that someone is coming out and opposing the cabals and say, this is not his exact words, but he was trying to say that someone is opposing the cabal, someone is saying that he's here for Nigerians, and he's saying, go and verify that he has no skeleton in his cupboard, and EFCC has not come to carry the person.
No, they came.
They've not yet done.
They came.
At the beginning.
Yeah,
At the beginning now.
At
At the beginning, he showed them receipt. But I'm saying since then,
Yes.
up to now, no one has any substantial thing to say. Not even substantial, no rumor or any of that sort to say that to say that this is going to dent this man. This is Nigeria. We know they play dirty in politics. So for him not to have, I mean, even as little as SUG politics is dirty. Now to think of this presidential candidacy and election, and nobody has brought something to say, I'm denting this image.
Thought he was going to run.
Really?
From the initial stage now.
Not just run. They didn't know he would make waves.
Yes. Yeah, no.
They didn't trust him to have this kind of momentum.
Exactly. That's why PDP sidelined him. They are lost.
No, he left. He left for Labour Party.
They sidelined him first.
Yeah,
because
they went to Atiku, knowing fully well they were not meant to. So what did he do? He went to Labour Party.
I have a question.
Okay.
What is Tinubu doing there? Is this not an old man that should be resting?
Well, is his right? Firstly, as a Nigerian, is his.
No,
is his right.
He's supporting that thing that he said. It is his turn.
No. What I'm saying, no. Let's just be civil here. Is his right?
Being civil is saying it's not his right because
it's his right because it's human right.
Do you know why I said it's not his right? He has criminal records.
Yeah, but
if this is a working, if this is a oh God, excuse, if this is a working system, this man should be in the prison.
You said if
so that right,
system, but it's not a working system.
And that comes back to saying it is not his right.
It is his right.
Where it should have been his right.
Man.
You can say it's Kwankwaso's right. I have no problem. But you cannot tell me it's Tinubu's right. First of all, what disqualifies it from being his right is his health. But if we're saying, let's pretend that his character is one of excellence, his health is nothing to write home about. He has gone to get treatment more times Buhari has done in his own tenure. And there was a video where there was a security man holding him up, giving him some support. Nigeria is in a position where we need somebody that every time I go to P2B Spirit, I go there to relieve stress at times, to just go and admire my 001. Because you see, I was just in 10 hours ago, you see, I just came from this place. Then 6 hours ago, you see another place. 2 hours ago, another place. He's traveling and he's
campaigning himself.
Tinubu is not fit. Fitness aside, he has a criminal record. He has a lot of dents on himself.
You are just saying
he has not been convicted. Why? Because Nigeria is not a working system.
Are you in support of Tinubu?
I'm not in support.
What's all these excuses?
It's not excuses. I'm entitled to my own opinion.
Yes, but I'm trying to understand it.
He's a human being.
Please don't sympathize with him. You are trying to gather sympathy.
I'm not gathering any sympathy. Try and understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
He's a human being. It's his own right. So even if he's corrupt,
all these things that she has listed here, have you not been able to pick?
The right of a person ends where the next person begins. And same way you have a right of movement or freedom of anything you want to have, it ends when you've done something that limits the rights. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have his rights as a human being. I have no problem with the man. Where my problem starts is where your right is infringing on mine. You are after my life. To say you want to rule Nigeria, you are chasing me with a machete. You are actually after my life. Why do you want to rule me?
Okay, so that's like who are you rooting for to win this election?
I would love Obi to win.
I'm shy. It's Obi. Oh my God!
I want Obi to win.
Any little message for our viewers, anybody that might be watching this For
If you have
Nigerians in
your
general.
PVC, go and vote. That's the best advice.
My advice to you, dear Nigerians watching this, I'm not voting for P2B because he's an Igbo man or because
Typical
he's just
obedient candidate.
but because he's smart,
He's a smart man.
he's trustworthy, he's diligent, he's everything Nigeria needs to purge the corruption that
Speaking from
is eating
from
deep.
the innuendo.
that is eating deep into our society and our system as a people. Nigeria is no longer a safe place. We need to be able to call Nigeria home. Home is meant to feel like a warm place.
Most of my friends don't even want
If
to
you have
call
your
me.
PVC, just come and vote, and not vote wisely, because many Nigerians are not wise. Please,
You don't trust your.
please vote P2B. I'm begging you. For the sake of our sanity as a people. The country is hard. It's touching everybody.
It's touching everybody.
Do yourself a favor.
And vote wisely.
And
Okay,
vote
so
wisely.
okay,
For P2B.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to add it or say anything.
No, she has said
for that.
everything.
It's obedience in this house.
She's
so
obedient.
she's
Actually,
said
I'm
it
going
all.
for hiking tomorrow. Obedient hiking.
That said,
Yes.
it was nice having you guys on this episode. Like you guys brought the energy, you guys brought the intellect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So please like, subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and share this with your friends. Ciao.